All right, we are going to dive into something truly profound today. We're going to decode one of the most absolute, mind-bendingly mysterious passages in the ancient Zohar, specifically from Parashat Vayaki. And to really do this justice, I'm going to be channeling two very distinct viewpoints for you as we go. First, we've got the mystical scholar, the lens that understands these deep, ancient spiritual secrets. And second, we have the cosmic analyst, the lens that translates these texts into concepts of modern systems engineering. Together, we're going to explore the final 30 days before a soul transitions out of the physical realm. We usually tend to think of the end of life as this sudden crash, right? Just a moment where everything stops. But the Zohar reveals that it's actually not like that at all. It is a meticulous, perfectly timed cosmic system decommissioning.
So think of this agenda not just as our topics, but literally as our system decommissioning checklist for today. We'll cover 1, the cosmic countdown protocol; 2, heavenly alerts and proclamations; 3, nightly diagnostic soul uploads; 4, dimming the Tzelem image; 5, Sephirotic mechanics and colors; and 6, final system decommissioning. Let's get right to it.
Okay, let's dive into this with Section 1, the Cosmic Countdown Protocol, initiating the 30-day sequence.
So, the end of physical life is actually heavily structured by cosmic mathematics. It initiates exactly 30 days out. And this isn't some arbitrary number. Let me put on my cosmic analyst hat for a second. It takes exactly 30 days to execute a full preparatory cycle protocol. This massive process engages 10 distinct parts, which perfectly represent the 10 Sephirot. That's the complete structural tree of life, ensuring every single level of the soul's interface is accounted for. And the whole thing happens in 3 distinct stages, representing this gradual withdrawal of physical and spiritual resources. The system doesn't just pull the plug, no way. It carefully scales down its operations to make sure the soul is safely packaged and transported.
Moving right along to Section 2, Heavenly Alerts and Proclamations, the echoes above and below.
Putting on my mystical scholar hat for a moment, the ancient Zohar, and also the Pardes Ramonim, states this beautifully. Telatatin yomin makrizi alui ba'alama. 30 days they proclaim upon him in the world. It sounds incredibly poetic, right? But switching back to our cosmic analyst perspective, what does this actually mean in practice? It means scheduled network alerts are literally firing across dimensions. The entire spiritual infrastructure is being pinged with a notification that a major transition is imminent.
So, a heavenly proclamation isn't just, an angel shouting into the void. Think of it as a scheduled cosmic network alert. It ensures that all the destination environments, all those specific spiritual realms where the soul is heading, are fully prepared, perfectly configured, and ready to receive the incoming data of that specific soul. This transition is expected. It's prepared for at the absolute highest levels of the cosmic architecture.
Which brings us nicely to Section 3, Nightly Diagnostic Soul Uploads, the ascent through Yesod.
Now that the whole network has been alerted, what happens to the individual while the physical body powers down for sleep? And this brilliantly illustrates the back-end processes at work. While a person is sleeping, the soul initiates a nightly ascent through the Sephirah of Yesod. Yesod is the spiritual foundation, and here it acts as this dedicated data channel. The soul enters these vast, dreamlike realms, specifically for data syncing. And get this, every night, it actually gets a sneak preview of its final storage destination in the world to come. Then, right before the person wakes up, the soul returns to the physical system, having fully completed its nightly diagnostic upload.
Now returning to our mystical scholar perspective, here is hands down the most fascinating part, straight from the Zoharic text. The person does not know, does not notice, and has no control over their spirit during these 30 days. Seriously, think about that. The conscious human mind remains blissfully, completely oblivious to these massive nightly data uploads. You just wake up feeling like you had a totally normal night's sleep, completely unaware that your soul has essentially been caching data and test driving its next dimensional existence.
Let's step into Section 4, dimming the Tzelem image, the fading of the spiritual shadow.
Okay, so while the conscious mind is oblivious, the spiritual interface is actively altering. We really need to understand a concept called the Tzelem. Translated literally by the mystical scholar, it means the spiritual shadow or cosmic image. But let's look at it through our cosmic analyst framework. It is the primary interface projecting life force into the physical body. You can think of it as the energetic bounding box that holds your soul and your body together. And without this absolutely crucial operating interface, physical vitality simply cannot be sustained.
If you were to look at this through a stunning 4K heritage cinematic lens, imagine a highly detailed, incredibly vibrant visual timeline of a person's life. As this 30-day protocol kicks in, you would visibly see their spiritual shadow, the Tzelem, gradually darken and fade. It's like the visible rendering processes of their life force are beginning a slow, incredibly gentle shutdown. The vibrant energy just starts to dim step by step. In Kabbalistic terms, this beautifully visualizes the gradual withdrawal of the Malchut Sephira, the realm of physical manifestation, as it softly pulls its resources back from the physical world.
Now, what's really interesting about this next part is, well, you'll see. Section 5, Sephirotic Mechanics and Colors, the Deep Code of Transition. We are now entering the deep code, so stick with me here. Notice the incredibly precise balancing act of the cosmos. As the protocol runs, we see very specific color shifts happening in the spiritual machinery. Bina, representing the awakening of a brand new awareness, flashes white, the color of revelation. Then Tiferet, which is the core life force, shifts to red, signaling judgment, or the system beginning to power down. Yesod, that nightly ascent channel we talked about, flashes white as data is successfully uploaded. And finally, Malchut, the physical body's anchor, shifts to red for contraction and withdrawal. It's this incredibly elegant, perfectly balanced dance between the red energy of system shutdown and the white energy of data upload and revelation.
And you might be asking, why exactly 30 days? Why not 10 or 50? Because if this complex matrix of Sephirotic energy shifted all at once, the system would literally violently crash. It takes exactly 30 days for this intricate balance of red and white Sephirotic energies to fully process the transition. It's perfectly timed to gracefully degrade the physical connection while safely fortifying the new spiritual one.
Let's bring all these concepts home in Section 6, Final System Decommissioning, the multi-gen synthesis.
When we view these ancient paradigms side by side, it is wild how perfectly they align with modern concepts. If we view the Zohar's 30-day sequence like a video game, it goes like this. The countdown phase initiates, invisible HUD character alerts trigger, the game engine begins partial rendering shutdowns to save memory, and at night, the character gets to glimpse the loading screen of the very next level. But if we view it through cosmic engineering, it's a staged system decommissioning. Scheduled network alerts fire across the servers, physical resources are gradually withdrawn to conserve energy, and there is nightly data syncing directly to final cloud storage. Both of these analogies perfectly decode the exhaustive, ancient mechanics hidden right there in the text.
And just like that, the complete journey is achieved. The 30-day protocol is seamlessly executed. The heavenly networks are fully alerted and prepared. All nightly diagnostic syncs are completed without a single hitch. The Tzelem projection is safely, gently dimmed, completely untethering the soul from the physical hardware, and the final Sephirotic transfer is achieved. Bring our analyst and scholar personas together, we see a masterful, perfectly engineered cosmic transition that ensures the soul's absolutely safe passage to its next reality. Which leaves us with a pretty profound thought to ponder before we wrap up. We are all generating data every single day. So as your own timeline unfolds, what diagnostic uploads are you sending up to the cosmic network each night? What exactly is your soul previewing while you sleep?
Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.